Hello, Gail.
What you doing?
Nothing. Just watching my father and your father build houses. Why?
Oh, I was just wondering if I could sit and watch too.
Of course. You know you may. We're each other's best friends, aren't we?
You are, I know.
So are you. What you been doing all morning?
Well, before Father went to work, I talked to him. Then I talked to Mother.
My folks never have time to talk to me. Anyway, what's there to talk about to grown-ups?
We talked about things that Jesus said yesterday on the mountain.
Were there many people there?
Oh, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So many you just couldn't count all of them. I wished you had gone with me.
And sit there and listen to someone preach? No, thank you.
Jesus just talked.
Oh, that's even worse. Anyway, my father and mother didn't want to go. They say Jesus is nothing but an ordinary man who happens to have a good voice, and he's the type of preacher people believe.
My father and my mother say he might be the Son of God.
Son of God? Now, Gail, you know that's impossible.
Does seem so, doesn't it?
Come on, let's get closer to watch our father's work.
All right.
Let's race. See who can get there first. 1, 2, 3, go!
I beat you.
Yes, you should. You work and exercise a lot. My parents don't make me work at all.
Work's good for you. God said so in the beginning when he made Adam and Eve.
Well, I don't like to work. And my parents don't make me, so I don't. And it looks like your father doesn't like to work either.
My father's not lazy, and he... Why do you say my father doesn't like to work?
Well, look at the house he's building. He has scarcely begun it. And your father and my father started the houses at the same time. Now, look at our house. It is more than half done.
It is, isn't it? I mean, there may be some reason, 'cause I know my father's not lazy or slow in his work. I think I'll ask him.
May I go along?
Sure, come on. Hello, Father.
Oh, hello, dear. Hello, Miriam.
I want to ask you something, Father.
Well, now, I always have time to answer questions from my little girl.
You and Miriam's father, you're both building houses, and you started about the same time.
Well, I started one day before he did.
Look at his house. It's about half done. But your house, look at it. It doesn't look like you've hardly started building it. Miriam said it's because you don't like to work, and that...
Oh, I didn't mean it like that, sir.
Oh, I know you didn't, Miriam. But to answer your puzzlement, my child, may I simply say that your father, Miriam, and I are building our houses differently, that's all.
How different, Father?
Well, before I began building the house, I dug down through the sand until I got to rock. Now I'm chipping the rock to get a level, smooth, and solid foundation. Then I'll begin actually building the house.
How's my father building our house?
Well, Miriam, each person has his own ideas and personalities. Your father and I are different. He's building his house his way, and I'm building our house my way.
I'm going to ask my father. Want to go too, Gail? Father, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, what is it?
Why are you building our house so much faster than Gail's father is?
Yeah, well, I guess I'm just a faster worker, that's all.
Gail's father said it was because you're building differently.
Differently? How?
He said he dug down to rock and is going to build his house on the rock so that the house will have a solid foundation. What are you building our house on, Father?
A solid foundation.
What?
Sand. Solid sand. Oh, I know your father, Gail, doesn't think sand is solid, but it is here. He thinks the sand will shift, blow away, and let the house topple over. I know better. This sand is solid, and it will not shift or blow away. My house will be just as safe and solid as his house. And look at the time I'm saving.
There, Gale. See how smart my father is?
It's terribly foolish, I think, to take the time and trouble to dig through this solid sand down to rock. But if your father, Gale, wants to build his house that way, it's certainly all right with me. But I'm going to build mine the best, easy way. There. Our house is finished. Ready to move into. Pretty, don't you think?
It's very pretty.
Yes, Father, it's awfully pretty.
I'm anxious to get moved.
Let's move in right away.
I think it's beautiful, Father.
I think so too, dear.
Well, it may not be as beautiful as it could be, but it is a safe, sound house. It's built on a solid foundation.
When can we move in?
It's ready right now.
Wonderful.
Let's take these things in. This is a terrible storm. It's going to get worse.
Are we safe in such a storm?
Perfectly. The house is built on solid rock. It can't be moved.
Good.
Faith is the same way. It can't be moved if it's built on the solid rock of truth.
How about Miriam's house?
Let's hope and pray they're safe.
Yeah. The storm's about over.
Our house did stand.
My father built it.
Somebody wants to come in. Come in. Oh, it's you. Come on in, all of you.
Our house blew down.
It was terrible.
The rain. There was a flood. It tore at the sand, and the wind. It was terrific and strong. The walls fell down. I guess you were right, Samuel. Shortcuts don't pay. Faith, as well as houses, must be built on solid foundations, or they will topple over.